29. And obviously that was bad. The market fell 83%. The second worst market crash was in 2009. So in our lifetimes, the market fell 50%. But even so, from here to where we are now, the market is 4 times higher. I know a lot of people that jumped out of the stock market right about here and never came back in again. Those people can't retire. For every year that you have negative returns or a negative stretch, you have 9 years of positive returns. So imagine going to a casino and it was red and black, but there were 9 reds and 1 black. You'd play that game all day long. You wouldn't put all your money in, but you'd put in enough to keep getting those nice, powerful returns. One of the ways that you can control your emotions around stock market volatility is to break your assets down into different pots. And we call this purpose-based asset allocation. And generally speaking, we know that if you've got something coming up in the next 12 months, it's a tax bill, it's a house closing, it's a real estate renovation that you're doing, you can't afford to take any volatility risk. You've got to keep that safely in a checking account or a savings account. At the other end is money that you don't need for 10 years for a child's education or 30 years for your own retirement. Well, that pot can take as much risk as possible, 100% stocks. And then in between, you might have a situation coming up. Let's say you have a child going to college in 4 years. Well, yeah, you'd like to keep that money growing, but you got to make sure that tuition is there when you get there. So maybe it's half stocks and half bonds, or mostly bonds. So right now, for example, you might have your 401k invested 100% in your Vanguard stocks or your Vanguard funds, and you might have your primary checking account, and you might have a secondary savings account with initially 1 month of salary saved up. And then after a time, 3 months of salary saved up. And then 6 months of salary saved up. So that if something bad happens to you, you get laid off, or you get hit by a taxi or an electric scooter, and you need to be in the hospital for a while, you've got some resources.